afternoon, and welcome to the second season of Forever Young. My name is David Linton. It's my pleasure to be with you today. It's been a while since we've been together, and we hope that you and your families are doing well. Of course, this is the program that celebrates life for those of us who are on the other side of 50, and not a bad place to be because, with experience comes wisdom, and with wisdom comes a smarter and safer life. So, what we try to do here on this show is just shed some light on some of that wisdom and give you tips for living a better life on this side of 50. Of course, I can't do this program alone. I'm always delighted to be the only man amongst a lot of beautiful ladies, and that's never changes. And I'm delighted. Of course, I'm talking about our co host, Miss Jean Hendricks. We call her beautiful, and Dr. Sharon E. Mitchell. Hello, ladies. Hello, Jean.
Hi, David. How are you? I'm
I
delighted to be with you again. So good to see everybody.
I am fantastic. And Dr. Sharon Mitchell.
Hello, David. Hi, Miss Jean. I'm so glad to be back with the team. Miss you
Yes,
guys. Exciting show for you all. And certainly
yes,
hello to our special audience. Yes, sir.
yes, it is. It's great. It's been a long time. And you know what? My luck has grown in this new year because now I have three lovely ladies. Our special guest this afternoon is none other than Dr. Christina Wilson. And we're going to be talking about something that's really important, talking about affirmations and how you encourage yourself, because sometimes, you have to encourage yourself. And that's been so important during this period of COVID when we've been separated from family and friends. Sometimes you really have to do what Michael Jackson said. You really have to look at the man or woman in the mirror. And so,
Right.
with our affirmations and with this program, before we get started, before I introduce our guests, Jean always has something that kind of brings us into focus. And so we're going to do that. And then we're going to introduce more in detail Ms. Christina Wilson, who is our guest for today. Jean?
Yes, I found a poem by Alhun Cox entitled Affirmation, and it reads, Affirmation. Sometimes all it takes is a little positive affirmation that can really speak to us, that can help guide us. When we feel like life is off track, helping us to understand who we really are. It can be nice to know that you are appreciated, to know that someone cares about you, who you are, where you are, and understand what you need. More importantly, it's good to give those positive affirmations. Sometimes it can really make someone's day, spreading waves of positivity that will paramount throughout the world. Back to you, David.
Well, thank you so much. And that is so true. And that's a great lead into our guest, as we stated earlier, Christina Wilson. She's a devoted Christian, mother, and entrepreneur. And has a passion for helping people, especially women. And she wants them to help reach their God-given purpose. So in June of 2017, she created her own fitness company, which she called Fit for a Purpose. And was formed with the mission of inspiring, encouraging, and aiding in the transformation of lives of women all across the world through physical fitness, nutrition awareness, and mental and emotional healing. And that's so important because the emotions are so important. And then in 2018, she opened up a physical location for her business, which has served hundreds of clients to this very day. She understands the importance of becoming healthy from the inside out. And of course, this is a production of Hope TV. And of course, we know during one of Pastor Smith's sermons, he talked about the inside and out. And so we have to be on the inside beautiful, be outside beautiful. And so she cherishes those relationships that she has with her clients and those that she has with her family. And she loves transforming lives. And with that, we'd like to officially welcome to Forever Young, Dr. Christina Wilson. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me today.
No, it's our pleasure. I think this is an important subject matter for people at any age. You know, even though it says forever young, it doesn't. You don't have to be young or old. We don't even know what that means, old, but
No, we don't.
experience to have, self affirmations because, as I said earlier, during this COVID time, we really need to always encourage ourselves. I mean, there is a song, a gospel song, that sometimes you have to encourage yourself. And
Yes.
so
Mhm.
we want you to tell us a little bit about your organization, Fit for a Purpose.
Sure. Fit for a Purpose, as it is physically, we're actually a dance and fitness studio located in Morrow, Georgia. But how we got our start is I actually taught fitness classes for years at LA Fitness. And I was teaching Zumba classes, cycling, all of that good stuff. And it started to amaze me that students would just walk up to me after class and just started talking to me about the great benefits that they were having, not just physically, but health wise, mentally, emotionally, like what this was doing for them as a whole person. So it started to go, like I said, out of the physical aspect of the fitness part. And for me, that became very important because these are people that, like I said, they have been coming to my class for years and we built personal relationships. I was getting to know them, they were getting to know me. But for those larger companies, it was more about you come in, you teach a class, you leave, and the next class has to start. So it's no opportunity outside of that to get to know these people more and to, help them more on their journey. So, like I said, because that's important to me, I decided that, hey, if I can do this for LA Fitness, I can go out and do this for myself. And so that's what I ended up doing. In March of 2018, I ended up opening a physical location. Like I said, my company name is Fit for a Purpose, and that has a reasoning behind it because I believe in helping these women get fit. And that's not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, every aspect of them get fit so that you can go out and pursue your God given purpose. That's what's important to me. So we opened up our location and we've been serving clients on the south side of Georgia ever since. We've had mostly we cater to women, but we're not closed off to men. It's just I wanted to create an atmosphere where women could feel comfortable, could develop that confidence, and could have that community. And it's just so easy to do that when you're surrounded by like-minded individuals and individuals who are like you. And I mean, as much as we love men, they're not like us. So, it's an environment where women can come, let their hair down and be themselves.
What you talking about?
Well, Christina, tell us a little bit about how you were able to establish affirmations in your company.
Sure. So affirmations actually just started for us at Fit for a Purpose, but it's something that I've been doing for a long time. But just coming out of 2020, God started to speak to me about the mental and emotional aspect of the people that I'm connected to. And so many people suffered losses during 2020. So many people suffered depression in 2020. It was just, 2020 was that year that, gave us all a wake up call worldwide. And so, we're still even getting a wake up call to this day. It's not over. We're still in the COVID time. And so God just began to speak to me about what I can do to help the people that are connected to me. And for me, I strongly believe in affirmations. I believe in speaking to yourself, encouraging yourself. The mind is one of the most powerful tools that we have. And I believe that the mind and the heart are connected. So for me, whatever your mind believes, like the Bible says, it's going to come out of your heart. And so whatever your heart feels like you are, that's what you're going to become. That's what guides your life. And so that's important. And people who don't understand that, it's hard for them to live the full potential that they have because they haven't tapped into that part of themselves yet.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Wow. So,
That's deep.
Christina, can you talk to us a little bit about the background on affirmations? I think about David in the Bible when he talks about he encouraged himself. And we know that David went through a lot of seasons in his life. He had a lot of losses, he had victories, he had all kinds of emotional ranges. So, can you give us a little bit of background on affirmations? What does that really mean? What does that consist of?
Sure. For me, affirming yourself is a daily renewal of your mind. We're brought into this world, and everything that we pick up mentally, emotionally, are things that we've either been through or that we've seen. And so the mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. But if you keep telling yourself something over and over, your mind is going to start to feel like it's real. Like for me, a good example is the women that come into my gym. They feel like they're not confident, or they feel like, oh my gosh, I'm huge, I look this way. But to me, I'm like, well, your mentality is what we need to work on first, because like if your mind is saying, well, I may not be where I want to be, but I know I can get there. I know that I'm beautiful. I know that I'm powerful. I know I can do hard
Yes.
things. I may not look how I want to look now, but I'm going there. That's a totally different mindset than, oh my gosh, it's so hard. I can't do it. I'm fat. I'm ugly. You know, all of those thoughts are just thoughts that we can't operate in daily, because for Satan, that's a big playground. That's the area for him to
Yes.
come in
Yes.
and just have his
Yes,
full way
yes.
with us. And so we try to change that aspect for them. So, like I said, for me, that's a great example. But even biblically, my favorite example of a mindset change is the man by the pool of Bethesda, because Jesus asked him, like, do you even want to get healed? Like, do you want to get better?
Mhm.
So it's not
Yeah.
about you being able to get up and walk. Your mind is not even allowing you to think that you can do it. You think somebody else has to do it for you. And so even then he's telling him, this is a mindset change. This is something you
Yes.
have to work on. And then I can help you from that point.
Right.
Well,
Right.
you know,
Thank you.
Christina,
Wonderful.
you've really given us a lot of information there. I mean, and there's, you know, again, you're absolutely right. And for anybody just tuning in, you're tuned into Forever Young on Hope TV. We're talking to Dr. Christina Wilson, and we're talking about affirmations and her program and her business, should I say, Fit for a Purpose, where she encourages people, especially women, to feel good and affirm themselves. So you started this company. You said you were at LA Fitness, and it was something that you said really that was really poignant in terms of working for that big company, and you dealt with people, but you never got to really get to speak with people, get the one-on-one, should I say. You spoke to people, but to really to dive in. So being that you do that with these affirmations, do you do these with groups, or is it one-on-one sessions, or you got the three of us here, do you do us in a class, or is it individual? How does that work?
Yeah, so I give the people that I'm connected to whatever they need in that moment. So for me, after every single class that I teach, I do affirmations after that. And so the affirmations consist of the whole class in that setting repeating after me. We form hearts. So they make hearts above their head that looks like that. And then they bring the hearts down below. And to me, that's just a symbol of them surrounding themselves with all of this love and all of these positive affirmations that we're going to say. Because most people who have the mentality of a negative mentality, it starts with two, do you love yourself? Like, do you truly love yourself? And so that's what I try to get our clients to dig into, to tear apart. Because you can say, yes, I love myself, and I think I look good, but then when all the makeup comes off, when the hair is looking, not like we feel totally different. But it's no, in that aspect, do you still love yourself in your natural aspect, the way that God created you? How do you feel about yourself at that point? So that's our sign, like I said, of surrounding ourselves with love. And I encourage them to do that in the studio, at home, wherever. And then we just start to speak these affirmations. I am beautiful. I am powerful.
Yes.
Strong.
Yes.
I am
Yes. Yes.
I am enough. I am healthy. I am healed. I am whole. I am blessed. We just start speaking those things over our lives. And for me, I say as many as God leads me to say. If it's 10, if it's 5, If it's 15, they already know I'm gonna go until I feel like everyone in the room has gotten what they need. And sometimes if we don't have time, say class runs over, I'll just encourage them, like, just know that you can do hard things. You made it today. You are strong. You can do this. And we'll end the class like that. So in that setting, it really just depends. I have some of my clients after class, they need to talk to me one-on-one. And I'm not in a rush because you never know what somebody's going through. So if they need to talk to me for a half an hour after class, I've stayed for 30 minutes, I've stayed for an hour. I want you to get out whatever's inside of you so that God can start to heal you and to fill you back up.
Very good. Very good.
Wonderful.
Dr. Will, do you encourage journal writing, for example, writing in a journal some of the affirmations that you've said, so one can go back once they leave your fitness, so they can read it, or on a day when they're not feeling well? Do you encourage journal writing for affirmations?
Most definitely. I tell the ladies, write this down. It's really funny because when I plug my phone up, now my son set this up for me. I know y'all like, okay, you look young and techie, but I'm not. So my son set it up to where every time I plug my phone up, it affirms me. It goes, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am powerful,
I need that.
Oh, wow.
So it says those 6 affirmations to me every time I plug my phone up to charge it. And so when I'm at the studio and it's time to play the music and I plug my phone up, the ladies always laugh because they hear my affirmations. But for me, that's what helps me, you know, because even we need affirmations too. Like, pastors need it, mothers, it doesn't matter who you are. We all need to be affirmed.
Yes,
And
yes, we do.
For them, I'm like, go home, write it down. We have an app in the Apple Store and in Google Play, and I send push notifications to their phone, and it might be an affirmation for that day with a short description of what that means. So, like, for instance, if I send, I am courageous, then I would tell them after that, like, courage doesn't necessarily mean that you're not afraid. It means that you decide to still keep going even though you're afraid. So they'll get that whole blurb in a push notification.
Right.
And then they can take that, they can write it down, they can look at it. I went through a season in my life where I had to have Post-it notes on my mirror in the bathroom because, you know, I had to remind myself daily, like, I can do this. I went through a lot of stuff in life where it was like, no, Christina, you're not going to give up. I can do this. God loves you. It was just random stuff on Post-it notes.
Right, yes. You gave me a great idea. I'm definitely going to do that one. About on my phone, it says to me, I am beautiful, and I'm going to also include I am rich.
Yes.
That's me.
Amen.
And you know what? But you know what? That is
good.
It's so funny when you say that, because you know those affirmations. Because although her clientele is women, need affirmations too. And you know, but early in my career, even though I have something on my mirror in my bathroom, but I remember early I put on there vice president, the record of Warner Brothers on my mirror, and eventually I became a vice president of Warner Brothers, and then I just kept doing some others. So you need those affirmations, and it's so important. You know the one thing that is always our biggest enemy, and that's time. And you know what? It doesn't seem like it, but we're about at the end of this program. But you know what? We're just getting started. So, Dr. Wilson, if you would be so kind to come back for a part 2 so that we can really get a little deeper into affirmations, because I think we're on to something that as we're in this new year, people made resolutions. We're still we're still in COVID. There's a vaccination, and there's people who want to take it, don't want to take it. I think what you're offering is so important that we need to come back and do a part 2 of this, if you will do that.
Yes.
I would love to.
Yes.
You.
Well, I thank you. So again, on behalf of Gene Hendricks, Dr. Sharon Mitchell, and all of you who are looking at home, this is Forever Young. We're a production of Hope TV. We'd like to thank our executive producer, Dr. E. Dewey Smith Jr. for having the vision for coming up with Hope TV with a great lineup of various shows that has been able to sustain a lot of us and entertain us through this whole COVID period. And you know what? It's only because of, there was an affirmation. I'm quite sure you got a divine affirmation that just because we can't physically be together, we can still be together through technology. And we've used it here at Hope TV. So remember, you are forever young because life is nothing but a number. And we'll be back next week, okay? I'm David Linton. You take care. God bless.